Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Strom. Welcome back to another redstone video. This is not going to be a tutorial, I'm just showing off the idea that I've come up with. So recently 1.17 dropped, and one of the features that I was most excited about did make it into this first part of the update, and that is that shulkers can now be renewable. This here is the farm design that I've come up with, and I did use a couple of tricks that I saw online at points where I got stuck, but this is going to be the method that I'm going to use. I just tend to prefer that if I kind of come up with my own way with as little help as possible, I like to use that as long as it still has some efficiency. So let's take a look at what this is. So inside here, we have a shulker and we have a snow golem. Now, the purpose of the snow golem is that snow golems will aggro onto hostile mobs and start shooting snowballs at them. This will then in turn cause the hostile mob to then aggro onto the snow golem. However, we can't let that snow golem get hit with a bullet because one shulker bullet would kill a snow golem. Right now there's no shooting going on because you can see this trapdoor is now closed, but when these trapdoors are open and these walls are here, it creates a little hallway where the shulker can see the snow golem, but it doesn't think that the that the shulker bullet can reach him, so he actually shoots his bullet either backwards or up, and then it gives the chance for a shulker bullet to come back and hit him. There are some very specific mechanics in order to get a shulker to reproduce. And what happens is when a shulker gets hit with a bullet, it A, needs to have its shell open, B, needs to be able to find a place within a 17 by 17 by 17 cuboid to teleport to, and C, not have other shulkers in its vicinity. So, shell open, that's an easy one. It has to have its shell open, and when it aggros onto this snow golem here, we'll see that it's going to keep its shell open most of the time. As far as the teleporting, you'll notice we have these 4 nether portals, and in between each of those and on the sides of those is these glass platforms, and that gives them a place to teleport to. Now with their teleporting, they take 5 checks and look for an area around them, and if they don't find an area, then the reproduction attempt fails. However, their process of looking for somewhere to teleport to, that can still continue. So that's the reason why we have this 17 by 17 by 17 area surrounding that shulker in his position, so that we can give him a spot that he'll be able to teleport to. And finally, the last condition is that there can't be enough shulkers nearby the original shulker, or he will just teleport and not leave behind a new shulker. And what it is every shulker reduces the chance of successful reproduction, quote unquote, by 20%. So essentially 5 shulkers in the area means a 0% chance that he will leave behind a new shulker. So that's why all these platforms that he can teleport to are facing directly into nether portals. So as soon as that happens, we immediately remove him, because if we leave that even down with 1 shulker, so the chances are down at 80%, that's still a good chance that it's going to fail. So we got to remove him immediately. And this is, with the nether portals, this is an idea I got from watching Glotz's farm. I don't know how close the mechanics are. I tried to avoid watching as much of this as possible, so I could try and come up with my own idea, just for personal fun reasons. No reason. But definitely go ahead and check those out by the other SciCraft members if you're interested in seeing other designs. So what I'm going to do here is I do have an AFK platform set up, because with these portals you will get zombified piglins spawning, and so I set up an AFK portal out here just to kind of get away from that area so they can despawn eventually. So I'll go ahead and turn this on, and we'll freak him over here, and here's what we're going to see is those bullets are sometimes going to come back and actually hit that shulker. And when you see his shell close immediately, what's actually happened is he has teleported away and left behind a new shulker. And let's see if we can get a shot of that happening. And there we go. We kind of saw one teleport over down to the left, and there was one up to the left, but as soon as it touched the platform, it went through to the nether. And then what we have is a killing mechanism in the nether. One other thing you'll notice about this design is all the buttons that we have around here, and this is so that the shulker can't teleport onto those, because a shulker cannot teleport onto a button. And unlike spawn proofing, where you only have to spawn proof the top of the block, shulkers can teleport to any face of a block. So we have to spawn proof the sides, the bottoms. So buttons are just going to be one of the cheapest ways to be able to do that. So now that this has been running for a bit, let's head over to the Nether and see the killing and collection mechanism. So this is the design that I've come up with. Normally this machine would be running while you're doing it, but I just kind of wanted to show how many shulkers we actually have coming through here. And what this is this portal here is linked to those other portals on the other side, and it is covered in buttons once again, and so are the sides of here, so that the only place that the shulkers can teleport to is on top of these stone bricks right here. And you'll notice there's some piston faces there. So what we actually have is pistons that are going to push them onto soul soil with the wither rose. Now, I tried doing systems with rail carts to push them onto wither roses. It never worked. They were teleporting on top of the rails, which is technically not supposed to be possible. These suckers are immune to fire damage, so nothing from fire, lava, magma cubes would hurt them. So this is the system that I came up with. And let's turn it on and see how many we get. You'll notice that occasionally after they get pushed off, in fact, quite frequently, I should say, they are teleporting back away to get away from the damage, and that's why we just have this clock going. Now, I'm using observers because it's a really fast piston tick, and that gives them more area where they can teleport to, because if they come through the portal and they fail to find a location to teleport to, I believe they actually will go back to the original coordinates, not the nether divided coordinates. But let's see what we got. And so we got 6 shells there. Now, 6 shells may not seem like a lot. You'd figure, okay, well, one end city, I'd get like 12 to 20. But you just have to remember, we just sat there for maybe a couple minutes with it running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this running for about 15 minutes. And I am going to sit here in my little AFK spot. This is more for survival. You wouldn't need this normally in creative. But I'm going to sit here, and we're going to see how many shulkers we get on the other side. There we go. There's the timer for 15 minutes. Let's go see what we got. Turn that off so we don't have to hear that. And boom, look at that. Over a stack of shulker shells in 15 minutes. So that means you'd be looking at about 4 stacks of shells an hour. That's crazy. Now, you may be saying to yourself, what in the world would you ever need all those shulkers for? When you start getting into late game Minecraft and you start getting into some big projects, especially with the technical community where you need like 300 shulker boxes for shulker loading systems, well, there's your answer right there. That's what you need them for. So this is a completely vanilla 1.17 mechanic. This is in Minecraft, no mods or anything required to do it. So that is my design for a shulker farm in Minecraft 1.17. If you would like to see this for yourself and you have Masa's Lightmatica mod, I will put a link to the Lightmatica schematics down below in the description. There will be one for the overworld and one for the Nether Killer. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.